This is WPSL Port Saint Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
It's 11:06 at WPSL 1590, the talk of the Treasure Coast, and you're on Never Alone from Harbor Place with the Executive Director Extraordinaire, Mr. Jack Walder. How are you?
I am good. How are you?
Hey, doing fine. I mean, it's frigid outside.
It is not frigid.
Well, it's below 70. Come on.
It's a little chilly, but I wouldn't say frigid.
Yeah, I'll tell you, we were talking to our other pair of outlaws in our family, and our son-in-law's mom and dad. And let me tell you, it is so bad. They're in the Pacific Northwest in Spokane.
Okay.
And they were talking about, I mean, they sent pictures. It's like a foot of snow where they are. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And poor Ron was out shoveling just to get the car out. It's like, oh, my goodness. I said, get the grandkids to do that, for God's sakes.
Right.
Don't do it yourself.
Nope.
Oh,
I'm content. I went to the beach on Sunday. It was fantastic.
We did last week, and
yep.
It was like, okay, this is ridiculous. Well, and of course, naturally, I had to post something on Facebook of the beautiful water and stuff. I said, it's just terrible down here in Florida. And of course, all my folks up in Connecticut are sitting there sending fire bombs down here. It's like, oh, come on. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, you could be in Syracuse,
Yeah. So I'm a little bit in mourning today because my Roll Tide didn't pull one out last night. So I'm a little bit in mourning.
Oh, wait, was there a game last night?
Well, there was until the end.
Well, I really had to wonder about that game. When they got the close-up of the dog, D-A-W-G, he was sound asleep in his cage. And I'll tell you, it really was a great defensive battle in the first half. It was. Then both teams opened it up in the second half. It was kind of fun. It's, yeah.
Yeah.
What was very interesting, I thought, and they talked about it on ESPN radio, which we were carrying, was the difference in the crowds, that it was a 60-40 mix with Georgia on top. And I'm thinking, really? Because Bama usually travels real well.
Yeah.
But man, it sounded just like, you're in the hedges at Georgia. It sounded like a Georgia home game.
Yep. And that's okay. I mean, everybody deserves their chance to be on top. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, once every 40 years, it's not bad. Yeah. But by the way, of course, naturally, ESPN's already got a poll for next year. And who's number one?
Georgia.
No, Bama.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, and it was like a unanimous pick of all the so-called college experts. Oh wow. Yeah. Well, look at what Bama had and how many freshmen they were playing.
Very true. Very true. We're in what they call that rebuilding year.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, games are games. They're going to go either way. You practice how you practice, you play how you play. And, you never know how things are going to go. People have bad days. People have good days. I don't get into all that. I just like the camaraderie and the games and the fun times. Am I sad they lost? Of course I am. They're my team. But, it is what it is. And I'm happy for Georgia. I think they are a fantastic team. And they deserve the win. They pushed through that last quarter where Alabama typically as a fourth quarter team apparently we were not a fourth quarter team last night.
Hey, that's okay. They're still the best pro franchise in Alabama. Whoops, who said that? Oh, that's not legal. Oh. Oh, no, it's he has built an empire there, and it's good. It's good for sports. It really is. And I love college sports. It's the NFL has gotten so staid and so predictable, and it's like, give me a good college game anytime.
Yes. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm right there. I'm not a huge pro fan either. Yeah, they get on my nerves. Their sense of entitlement just gets on my nerves.
Yes, that it does.
So we are doing something special that I wanted to talk about today. I'm sure everybody that's listening is aware of the circumstance with the two deputies that have the 1-month-old that took their lives this past few weeks. And we have decided over the weekend to do a diaper and formula drive, taking donations of all sizes, all formulas, things of that nature, for this child, because I can't remember exactly. I think it's a grandparent that has taken her or him. I'm not sure which, but we want to do something special here at Harbor Place. So we're going to do a diaper and formula drive. So we've already started collecting. There'll be a drop-off point. We're going to collect probably for the next month. This child's going to need a lot over the next few weeks and the next few years and times to come. And their loved one is mourning the loss of its parents, and we want to take the burden off a little bit. So if you're listening and this story, if it touches your heart, if you're not aware, I'm sure you are. It was a deputy who they had a small child, a month old. The father decided to take his life, and the next day, the mother took her life. And so now this baby is left as an orphan. And so we want to help take care of that and take some of that burden off by doing a diaper and formula drive. So all sizes of diapers, everything of that nature, please just bring it by, drop it off in our independent living. And as we collect it, we're going to drop it off at the sheriff's station or wherever we can. But we just wanted to get something started to give back and to help this child out, because it and the family have a long way to go.
I'm sure Sheriff Mascara will greatly appreciate that, as will the St. Lucie County Sheriffs. There's no doubt about it. We need to put together a little 30-second public service announcement, which we can put on the air like very liberally. If you can put that together, have Pat do it maybe, and sure. We'll get it right on the air. I think that's unbelievable. That's wonderful of you guys.
Yeah, we like I said, it touched our hearts. It made it all the way in national news. And one of my bosses up in Cleveland, Tennessee, Chattanooga area, called me and I said, I'm aware, we're trying to figure out what we can do to help. And we put together this drive this weekend to try to give back. Because like I said, formula, diapers, those are things that they're going to need for a few years now. And so we want to get as much as we can. If we can fill a whole 15-passenger bus with diapers and formula, that's what we'll do. So everybody that's listening, please drop by. And we really don't want to collect money. We ask that you bring by the diapers or formula. We want to be able to just drop that off, and then they can do with that as they choose. But please think about giving back to the community and giving to this family at this time.
I will also let Megan McRoberts know at Channel 5, and I think it would be very, very nice a little boost from the television side on that too. Hats off to you guys. It's unimaginable, to imagine something like that occurring, but
and I think part of the reason why it touches me is we are a family. My paternal grandfather did commit suicide when I was 10. And so that touches my heart in itself. And I know how hard that was. My my uncles and my dad were all grown, and that was still hard. And so I can't imagine what this family is going through on both sides. And this child that will grow up to never know his parents. It's going to be tough. And the loved ones that were just celebrating the fact that they have a newborn baby in the family, and now it's in mourning, and trying to be happy for having a child in the world. And then this, I just can't imagine. So like I said, we want to do something. We Century Park always gives back to the community, and we typically do something, but this is going to be on top of what we normally do, because we just feel really connected to this, and we want to make sure that something is given to them.
Well, you associate something like a PTSD or something like that with athletes, concussions and stuff like that. But, you know that our men and women of law enforcement and the fire area, those are tough jobs. They really are.
They are. I have one of my best friends is an FBI agent. I worry about her all the time. I have friends that are firefighters. I have friends that are police officers. You never know. I mean, they get put in some awful situations, and healthcare workers too. You'd be surprised. We sign up for it, and we're used to walking into those situations. But the difference between bullets flying at you and walking in on someone having a heart attack is totally different. So it's just, my hat goes out to those that are in the military, police officers, first responders. It's a difficult job, 100%. And you definitely have to have a calling for it. And please, if you're going through something that puts your mind in a place that it doesn't need to be, please reach out to someone. They don't have to be a licensed professional. Reach out to someone, let them know what's going on, and they can help you in whatever way they can to get what help you need. Don't think you have to do it alone.
Sure. It could be a priest or rabbi or whomever your religious person is, or maybe even just a friend. I mean, it's difficult. And unfortunately, it seems like it's getting more difficult each year.
It does. And I know we're a senior living and our title is Never Alone. And that's pretty much what we talk about as our seniors. But honestly and truly, we're all never alone. It doesn't matter what stage of life you're in. I mean, we've had residents, not personally, I've not had a resident, but when I first started working at Century Park, we had a resident that took his own life in one of our buildings out in Idaho. And that was, it shook our entire company. Because one, he was an independent living. So no one checked to see if he had anything that could do that. And were we taking things seriously? And it really made us step back as a company and look at things and how we handle things. It's not a common thing, but most seniors do go through a form of depression once they move into an independent living or an assisted living or a memory care. Because they have given up, and what they consider given up their entire life, and moving into a place, and I say this all the time, and it truly is with the deepest of my heart, we're not here for you to give up anything. We want you to continue to be the person you were, living at your home with us as a guest in your home, helping you do what you need to do. And that's still, it's hard to say, it's hard to cope with. And it does take a little while. When I used to do memory care, I'd tell families, don't come visit. Don't come visit for 2 weeks after you get them here. Let them settle, let them make friends. And as that happens, then it's less of a burden when you leave feeling like, oh my goodness, and they're trying to beg you for them to go. They don't do that. That starts to pause out. And I say the same thing with my assisted living residents as well. Let them know, hey, we're going to not come by for a couple of weeks. We want you to get settled. We'll talk on the phone, but we want you to get settled, make friends, all that kind of stuff. So it's one of those things where it's expected that they're going to go through some type of depression. And that's what we're here for. And even again, not just in senior living. I have a brother that is bipolar, and it's difficult. I've gone through that my entire life with him, and it's an up and a down and up and a down. And we've gone through stints where he's wanted to kill himself and things of that nature. So just talk to someone. And that's the best thing that I can say is, and again, anybody, don't think that you have to find a counselor, or sometimes it's just a friend that you need someone to listen. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. It's funny. I was talking to one of your residents. This may be 10 years ago, as we were getting ready for the Christmas Kids show. And she was talking about her relatives who had, basically dropped her off there and said, well, we'll be checking on you. So apparently she made friends instantly at your place. And she said,
yeah.
You don't have to check on me. I'm having a great time here.
Yeah. And you do have those. That's the best part about it. You have some people that are going to come in and they're going to make friends immediately. And it's like, who are you? I don't need you anymore. And then you have the others who don't, and that's okay. And that's when we start buddying them up with people and making friends for them, and trying to get things where they're doing activities and coming out of the room. Because even when we shut down visitation because we have a certain number of COVID cases inside of the building, whether it be staff or whether it be residents, we don't ask people to just sit in their apartments. We know that that's horribly depressing. You're looking at four walls on a daily basis. They're still encouraged to get out and do things. We may not have group activities, we may not have group dining, but we want them still to get out of their room, go for a walk, do those sorts of things, because we don't want them to sit in their room and get depressed. I mean, I have personally, both of my parents have COVID. We're both in the ER yesterday. They were very lucky and both got the antibodies yesterday. But they've been cooped up in their house for going on 2 weeks because my dad had it. Then my mom got it. Then they both ended up in the ER yesterday. So now they have another 7 to 10 days from the ER date. So they're going to be cooped up in their house looking at four walls for going on 3 weeks. It does a thing on your mind. I mean, it truly does. And it's going to continue to get worse, I honestly think, until we can get through some of this.
Well, and I do have to ask you on the business side of all of this, watching NBC Nightly News, and they were talking about independent living and assisted living places having a difficult time with staffing. What is your staffing level like at Harbor Place?
We're currently good. We're always, we do have some agency that comes in to help, because nurses are hard to come by, because they can still do travel nursing jobs and make pretty good money. But the rest of the staff, we're pretty good. We're still hiring. Let me make that very clear. We're constantly hiring because we don't want to get in a position where we don't have staff. And we are right now specifically looking for staff members from our 3 to 11 shift. But everywhere else, we seem to be covered pretty good. But it is an ongoing crisis. I mean, it continues across the country. The other day I saw a sign and I absolutely loved it that said, please be kind to those that actually showed up to work today. And it's the truth, where everybody's running on fumes at this point because they're covering multiple shifts, or they're working 2 jobs because there's so much going on and no one wants to work. So they're picking up extra shifts. And so they're tired. So, be nice to those that are actually there. Have a kind heart, because they are doing the best they can to make sure that you're getting the service that you deserve and that you are entitled to.
Well, it's very interesting you say that. We were talking to a friend who owns a restaurant that's pretty popular. She's got eight openings. 8. And it's like, and it's gotten to a point where she's even waiting tables and even working the bar. I mean, it's like, oh my gosh.
There was one point during the staffing crisis that I think we had 12 open positions. So it was a constant interviewing. We would set up 10 interviews and 3 would show up. So it's not like people aren't trying to hire. Let me make that clear. Everyone is trying to hire, but people don't show up for interviews. And it's very frustrating because you talk through it, you talk to them, you get them all set up to go, even the day before. Still coming for the interview tomorrow? Oh yeah, I'll be there. Never show up. But it's crazy.
Well, there was that story. I think we talked about it a few weeks back where the 2 large trucking companies in the U.S., one was Saya down in Miami and the other was Hunt out of L.A., and they had job fairs the same day. And only 4 people showed up in Los Angeles. They were talking about a $50,000 signing bonus. And as was the one in Miami, who only had 3 people show up.
Crazy.
Yeah.
4 years ago, there would have been a line around the block and 6 miles down.
You bet. Exactly.
It's just, I don't understand. I mean, I understand the fear of being sick or getting COVID, especially in the industry that we are in. But then you walk around and you go to Walmart, no one's wearing masks, no one's social distancing. So the fear, you can't have the fear of being sick and not working and then going and putting yourself at risk and in somewhere else. I mean, it's the same premise. And so that makes it a little difficult when you're hiring and you're trying to fill these positions because you see everybody's back to normal out in public.
Yeah. Well, look at that football game last night. 68,000 people in a stadium. The only masks that were worn were the security officers on the field. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll be the first to say I don't always have my mask on properly when I go into Walmart, but I social distance while I'm in there. I don't get close to anybody.
Right. No, us too. Same in Publix. Yep.
Yeah. And so, but I also know that I personally have been vaccinated. I have a booster shot and I do the things that I need to do to keep myself safe. But I also am human. And so there are times where I forget my mask in the car or I can't breathe and my nose is itching. So I pull it down and wipe my face and I shouldn't. But those are things that you're human, but purposely wearing a mask below your chin just to say that you have a mask on and things like that. That's when I want to go, when are we going to act like adults?
Yeah, exactly. You got that right. Yeah, I'm counting the days till I guess they moved up Pfizer's booster from 6 to 5 months, and yeah, I can't wait. Hey, I'll be there.
I know. It's crazy. I got mine back in October, November, December, January. I mean, I'm 3 months into the booster. I'm coming up again on getting the second one. If they say we get another booster, I'm right there in it. I'll keep getting it. I get the flu shot every year. What's the difference?
Sure. Exactly. That's exactly the way I feel.
Yep. So the other thing we need to talk about is our fantastic Dr. Joe that's going to be here coming up on the 20th. Yes, 20th, 22nd.
Yeah. Well, hopefully he won't fall asleep on you with that newborn baby that they.
I know.
That's
Poor guy. I know. Newborn baby going out and speaking arrangements, having his own office time. He's got to be worn out, but he's going to be talking about knee pain specifically, but I'm sure other things will come up. That'll be here at Harbor Place at Port Saint Lucie. So 3700 Southeast Jennings Road, Port Saint Lucie. Give us a call, 772-337-4330. Make sure you give us a call to reserve your spot. It is limit space because we are still social distancing. We will have some hors d'oeuvres there, and Dr. Joe will talk about knee pain and non-surgical ways to fix that. If you've not been with Dr. Joe Zecchi, he is fantastic. I personally use him. I had a bad case of tennis elbow. And of course, he said, we could do surgery. I'd rather not. So this is the other thing we can do. And it took a while, longer than surgery probably would have done to fix it. But you know what? I didn't have to have surgery. I no longer have tennis elbow, and it's fantastic. So I can't wait to hear what he has to say. I think it's going to be a great conversation about knee pain and arthritis and getting through those things. So again, that's coming up on the 20th. And we are very excited about it. Give us a call to reserve your spot, 772-337-4330.
I want you to know it's all your fault that he was late for his show last week. He was signing his 8x10 glossies that he'll pass out at your event.
We're going to auction those off to the highest bidder.
There you go. Be the first in your neighborhood to have a Dr. Joe 8x10 glossy.
Yes, we could auction off a silent dinner, because then he might actually get dinner and have a silent minute for a minute.
Yeah, and their baby is adorable. Absolutely adorable. They're very, very, very lucky parents.
Yes. So again, that's going to be on the 20th. It's for specifically going to talk about knee pain. He'll give up some details and talk about some other things as well. Give us a call to reserve your spot, 772-337-4330. Again, we are also doing that diaper and formula drive for the 2 officers that took their own lives this past week. You can drop those off here at the building, 3700 Southeast Jennings Road. Again, we ask that you please do diapers or formula. We don't want to do any type of cash. If you want to do a Walmart gift card or something of that nature, that'll be fine. We will put that with it as well. But specifically, we are trying for formula and diapers. If you rather just do diapers, they're going to need all sizes from newborn up at this point. So whatever you can give, whatever you would like to drop off, we'd like to get a whole lot of it. Fill up a bus, whatever we have to do to get it to them. So Century Park gives back to the community is one of the things that we pride ourselves on. And when this came up, we just felt the need to help out. So we're excited about that. We're excited about Dr. Joe. It's going to be a fantastic month here at Harbor Place at Port Saint Lucie.
Well, you're kicking things off in grand fashion. Unfortunately, I think the diaper thing is just absolutely marvelous. I think hats off to you folks for doing that. It is great. And it shows the corporate culture that you're involved in too.
Yes. Yeah, because it honestly was a group discussion because it did make the national news. So Shailene, my regional director of operations, gave me a call and said, "Hey, do you know about this situation?" I said, "I do. It's horrible." And I said, "But I'm not real sure what we can do. What do you think?" And that's when we came up with the diaper and formula drive, because we know that the person taking care of this sweet baby is going to need some help. They've been thrust into being a parent again, and so we want to make sure that they have what they need.
That's wonderful. That just is wonderful. Well, tell us a little bit about some of the amenities that you have.
Sure.
Yeah.
So let's talk about independent living first, because that's probably most of our listeners that's what they're thinking. You know, I've reached a point in my life where I just am tired of cooking for myself. I'm tired of cleaning the house. I'm tired of doing the lawn, and you've hired someone that's coming in to clean your house and do your lawn. And when you start adding all of that together, just sit down one day and add what's your mortgage or your rent? What's my power bill? What's my water bill? What's my gas bill? What do I pay to clean the house? You know, what is my grocery bill every month? You start adding all that up and you find out you're spending a little bit more than you actually thought you were spending per month to live in your own home.
What's your new home insurance bill? Yikes!
Yeah, because that went through the roof everywhere too.
It sure did.
Yeah, and if you own your home and you have it's almost paid off, now is the time to sell it. I mean, let's be perfectly honest. The housing market has gone through the roof, and then you can come to a place like us, which is an independent living, anywhere from a studio apartment to a 2-bedroom apartment, dining room options. We have a small bistro options. We have a pool, lots of patio spaces, a pool table, activities that go on, cardio drumming, chair yoga, you know, all of those sorts of things are all included in your base rent here at an independent living. And then you have assisted living, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's not skilled nursing. It's not a nursing home. We're here to assist you with your daily acts of life. if that be medication management. You may be completely independent, but you're not taking your medicines appropriately because you forget to take them. Perfectly natural. And that's what we can do here as well. We help you lay out clothes if you need help you put on a shirt because you're having trouble with your arthritis in your shoulder. All of those simple things that people take for granted. That's what we do in assisted living. It's not what everybody has this common misconception that assisted living is a nursing home. We are two totally different aspects of life. Nursing home is you have to have a skilled need to be there. In assisted living, you don't have to have a skilled need. Is exactly what it is. It's assisting you with your daily life.
Well, and I think what people have to understand as well is, in a way, with the independent side, you're like a regular 55 plus community there.
We are.
I mean,
Exactly.
you've got people that are, every time I go in there, I see tons of cars. So there's obviously somebody still driving.
Oh, yeah. We are a continuing campus. So we have independent living, assisted living, and then our sister company is Life Care Center of Port Saint Lucie. So that's your skilled nursing and rehab. So you can come in at 55 years old, live until the point where you feel like you need assisted living, go to assisted living until the point where you feel like you need skilled nursing, and then you can go there and all be on the exact same campus. You just transition from building to building. We have anybody from an independent living from 60 to, I think my oldest right now is in her late 90s. So wide variety. Most are still active, from playing cornhole, or you're tossing the bean bags, to shuffleboard, to paint class, which was going on right before I came in here. There's a lot going on for you to stay independent. We want you to be in the independent as long as possible, especially even when you move to assisted living. The point is to keep you as independent as possible.
Yeah, I just look and see everything that is going on there, and really, someone could be occupied from the time they wake up all the way to after
Right.
dark.
Yes, I mean, we have activities that start at about 9 a.m. And they go periodically through the day. I think the last one now is I think it's at 7. It ends at 7. So it's about 12 hours during the day that you can find activities going on, whether it be a movie going on in the evenings, poker. I think they were playing bananagrams the other evening, but we still have things going on.
Well, and you don't have a pulse if you can't be excited around your activities director.
Bethany, she's crazy. She's bouncing off the walls, full of energy, constantly running from one place to another. Everybody thinks we laugh because the perception is that she is extremely busy. Yes, she is busy, but that is also her personality. Her running from things to things is part of her personality, because she wants to make sure she's there in enough time to get everything set up and it be absolutely perfect when residents come in. And so in order to keep activities flowing, sometimes she's running from building to building and play game from game to game to game, just to keep herself in her mind where she needs to be. She has 2 assistants. We're actually getting ready to hire 2 more part-time assistants, so that we can make sure to have everybody where they need to be and doing a lot more. We want to continue to offer into the weekends now that COVID is somewhat slacked down a little, and we can start taking people back to church and things of that nature. So we're staffing up again to do that.
Oh, that's great. Oh, so they can basically just hop a bus and go to church then, huh?
Sure can. Yeah. We try to map it out and go to certain areas and certain churches, and then which we have not been doing because of COVID, because the numbers don't lie. A lot of cases end up coming from church because everybody's congregated and hugging each other and kissing on each other and everything that you should do when you're at church. And so we haven't been doing that just out of the precaution for the building, but we are going to get back to that as soon as we can hire another activities assistant / driver that can do that on the weekends as well.
That's wonderful. That, it's a very important part of your life.
It is. And again, we want we wanted to work with the mind so that it's, you know, it's not just physical, it's not just social. There's spiritual needs and everything is in there. So we want to deal with all aspects.
Well, and speaking of, we have folks tuning in all the time. Tell us about the diaper drive again that you've got going.
Sure. So as everybody is, I'm sure, aware of, the two sheriffs that took their own lives last week, that left behind a 1-month-old, we are doing a diaper and formula drive for them in their honor, for their child. Any size diapers, they're going to need newborns all the way up. If you don't want to do formula, because there are some, I don't know what the baby is on. And so if you would rather do a gift card towards that to Walmart or Target or somewhere, we will accept that. We don't want to do any cash. We want it to be gift cards or diapers or formula. If it's formula and you want to keep the receipt with it, we'll do that as well. That way, if they need to take it back to get the formula they need, that's fine. But, you know, it would be fantastic if we could fill a bus full of diapers, because diapers are always going to be there and they're expensive. So even if we only fill the 15-passenger bus with diapers, I think anything is going to be better than nothing at this point. And we just want to give back to them and to the community. We know this has touched so many people. And so we're looking forward to the community coming together and doing this. And we have some flyers that we're going to drop off. We've emailed some out. And then like I said, we've been talking about it today on the radio just so we can get that out there.
Yeah. And I think it's important to make sure that one of those flyers gets emailed to Sheriff Mascara at the main office on Midway. And I'm sure he'll put it on the front door of their facility as well.
Yeah. And like I said, we're looking forward to it. And we as a company, we do a program called Century Park Gives Back. And every quarter, we do some type of thing for the community. We participate as a company in Earth Day, and we go clean up the beach, and we do something. And so on top of our normal stuff, when this hit national news, my boss called and said, "Hey, what can we do?" I said, "You know, I really don't know. What do you think?" I don't have kids. She doesn't have kids. And so it's like, I don't know. And this loved one that has taken in this poor baby is now thrust into being a parent, not expecting to be a parent. And so there's going to be needs. And we thought, you know what? Every baby needs formula and every baby needs diapers. So that's when we decided to do this drive to try to collect all those. And I would love to have to take multiple trips out to the sheriff's office to drop it all off. So just come bring it. We will fill up whatever we need to fill up to get it to them. It would be fantastic to see Port Saint Lucie just come together and get this family all the diapers and formula they would ever need. Is my goal, especially in diapers. You know, diapers, it's a lot. And so if we could get enough diapers to get them all the way through to potty training, that would be absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's a great idea. And again, you're right there on Jennings, just east of US 1.
Yep, 3700 Southeast Jennings Road.
Yep, right behind Holiday Inn, and you can't miss it. There's no doubt about it. And it's just drop the stuff off, and beautiful lobby. And just yes. And if you'd like, take a little tour. Pat will take you around the facility too. 100%.
She'd love to give you a little tour. But yeah, it's 3700 Southeast Jennings. When you come onto our campus, you'll see the two 3-story buildings. The independent living is the furthest building on the left. Come in, drop it off. If you want to write a note to the family, you can do that as well. We'd be happy to pass that along. But like I said, we're collecting. Our doors lock in the evening about 8:30. So we ask that you do come during business hours so that we can make sure it's all locked away. But we are looking forward to it. And I hope by next week I can show you exactly, because we do record these, that you can see how much we've collected in just a week.
That would be so cool. Yeah.
Yep.
Make sure you shoot some video and get it on Facebook. Yeah, I think that's
for sure.
Awesome idea. Yeah.
Yep.
And
So
of course, as some of the ball players would say, Facebook, my grandparents are on that. I said, oh, thank you.
Yep. Yeah. So that's one of our events. Our second one that we're doing for the month of January is our knee pain event with Dr. Joe. He's going to talk about knee pain and non-surgical ways to get through that pain. That's coming up on the 20th. And we are excited about that. Give us a call at 772-337-4330 to reserve your spot. It is limited seating because we are still social distancing. Again, 772-337-4330. Reserve your seat for that pain clinic. And we will find out from Dr. Joe non-surgical ways on fixing pain, which should be fantastic.
Yeah. And I think as we all get up there, we all have various pains, whether it's shoulder or knee or whatever it is.
Yes, I am learning that as you get older, it's random pain. It's like all of a sudden your shoulder hurts, or all of a sudden your pinky hurts.
Wait a minute. I've got ties older than you.
Yeah, I know. But look, I was as a child, I was rough on my body, and I am paying for it now. That is the truth.
And how many times did your parents tell you that? You know, now that I reflect on that, you know, right. Sure. Oh, yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, as I was a ball player for a long time. And so my lower back from diving back to the base for so many years and crunching backwards, I'm like, ooh, one of these days, it's just not going to be fun. I'm going to go get out of bed, and I'm just not going to be able to stand straight up.
Well, those vertebrae just aren't in the same position that they used to be, right?
No, they are not. They are not. I go to the chiropractor though, so hopefully it'll stay where it needs to be.
Well, Dr. Joe can help you with that too.
Yep. Yes. Yep. His whole building. But again, we're looking forward to having Dr. Joe in the building. We used to have him several times a year. And now that we're getting back to those events again, we're excited to have him back in the building.
Now, eventually, I guess we're talking maybe spring when that back room is going to be available for folks. Is that right?
So the back room is actually already available. Our meeting.
Oh, okay.
That's already been renovated and it's completed. We do have a back entrance so that you're not coming through the main lobby. And you would check in there and do everything that you need. So any type of businesses that need to do a business dinner, or if they need to do any type of board meetings, things of that nature, that is available. We don't really do birthday parties for families, things of that nature. It doesn't work because they typically want to do late evenings or Friday evenings when my residents have gone to bed, and so that doesn't work. So we do lunches, we do early dining for anybody that needs that as well.
And for folks who've never had a chance to have your food, it is unbelievable.
It can be. I mean, it depends on the menu, obviously, but we have a fantastic new chef. Her name is Sylvia, and Jeffrey has been here for many, many years, and they have teamed together, and things are definitely getting better than we've had. We had some trouble the past year with COVID and still not being able to get some product. I mean, the other day we couldn't get prunes. I mean, of all things, we couldn't get prunes. Couldn't even get it at the grocery store. So if I wanted to go get it for someone, I couldn't even do that. And so I was actually at Walmart last night, and I was trying to get canned vegetables, and there was nothing. And and that has shown in some of our dining as well. And so we're getting back to where it needs to be, and I'm excited about that. We've had some new menu changes. We had lasagna last night. It looked fantastic as I was walking through, was headed home. But we do have some pretty good food.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about it. And the supply chain thing, we were talking to somebody from Pepsi, and they said, better stock up because we're running out of aluminum.
Yes.
and it's like, I'm thinking, what? How's that possible? But that would be your canned vegetables as well. It's, it's all that same supply shortage that we're running into in this country.
It is, and it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And all I wanted was some green beans.
I know.
For once in my life, I wanted a vegetable, and I couldn't get it. My mother would have been so happy. I wanted to eat a vegetable.
Well, no, what your mother will say is get fresh green beans and boil them yourself.
She does not like fresh green beans, actually. I do. I prefer the fresh ones. But my mother, she is a meat and potatoes person. I don't, always has been. So growing up, we didn't have that problem of, do you want to eat your vegetables? Because my mom wouldn't make us. Because she didn't really eat hers. So she didn't think it was fair to make us eat ours. I like vegetables. I have a texture issue. So some of them I don't eat, like zucchini and squash. It's a texture thing. I don't do the texture.
I get that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I'm weird. I like bananas, but I don't like bananas. I like banana flavored things. I don't like the texture of eating just a banana. I know I'm strange. Everybody that knows me knows this. I'm strange. They'll tell you that when it comes to food.
Everybody has got their own idiosyncrasies. It's just the way it is. Sure.
Yeah. I like scrambled eggs. I don't like any other way. It is what it is. But yes, we do have good food. We have been known for our food, and we're excited to see things continue to grow.
Yeah, and hopefully, if we ever get by this supply chain thing, your poor chefs will have enough to work with here.
Yes. The other day, our new chef Sylvia made a fresh coconut cake, and you could just see the smile on residents' faces. This cake's amazing. So it was great to see them light up again about some homemade fresh stuff. And as we're getting back to that, it's because it's not that it's convenient, but I mean, when you're feeding a large number of people, sometimes it's hard. You're going to have to do some canned stuff, and so it's been exciting to get back to the fresh.
Yeah, you can't beat it. It's amazing. And that has to be the ultimate challenge, because you're feeding hundreds of people, and everyone's different, and everyone likes something different. It's like, oh my gosh.
When we have our food committee meetings, I've often had to remind them that we did not all grow up in the same place with the same cooking. We all have different taste palettes. And so what you find salty to me may be absolutely perfect, or what I find salty probably is not have enough salt for you. It just depends on what's going on. Some people like their vegetables cooked to mush. Some people like them al dente. And it's a fine line between the two, and it's a two minutes difference in cooking, and so it's difficult trying to find that fine line of pleasing everybody, for sure.
Wow. But anyway, are there any openings at Harbor Place? Any apartment openings?
Of course there are, because we're going through renovation. So we are only selling renovated apartments. So as people move out and we renovate, then we turn them over to the sales team to sell them or rent them out. So we do have a little bit left. Pat fills them up just as quickly as I can get them turned around from the construction team. She does a fantastic job with that. But we do, in assisted living, I only have a few rooms left. In an independent living, we have a little bit more, but those are that's typical because you've got it's a longer quote sales process because they're independent and they're moving from a home and things of that nature they have to sell. But our assisted living, I'm very quickly running out of rooms. So if you're even considering coming to assisted living, now's the time to do it before I don't have any rooms available. I know my first floor is completely sold.
Wow. Okay. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, and now your assisted is fully renovated now. Is that correct?
It is not. We had to postpone it. We couldn't get. We're close. We're so close. We were shooting for the end of February, but I think it's going to be March. Some product got delayed again.
Yeah, here we go. Wasn't carpet, was it?
Well, carpet, the first time we ordered carpet, it was delayed 9 weeks. 9 weeks.
Oh, okay.
So I don't think we have that problem now. I don't remember what the latest was delayed, but it's not coming to me off the top of my head, but something is delayed. And so they're pushing it back another 30 days, but we should be completely done and be able to do an open house on I say that we want to have an open house pending no more crazy rise in COVID cases, so that everyone can see the wonderful work that's been done on the inside.
That's wonderful. Yeah. Well, it's you have been a gem for a lot of years, but it doesn't look it at all.
21 years.
Brand new.
This campus has been here I think Life Care was actually here a little bit before that. But the Century Park campus, so our Harbor Place at Port Saint Lucie, independent and assisted living, we've been here 21 years. We're one of the oldest standing original owners, original building, all of those sorts of things, because we have a single owner. We're not an operations team like some of your larger companies. We are the owner operator of our own campuses, Mr. Preston, and his legacy that has become Century Park as well as Life Care Centers of America. Century Park operates in 19 states with 42 buildings total, with plans to break grounds on another one either in 2022 or 2023. Not in this area, but we do have another one getting ready to open. We have 4 in Florida, Ocala, Orlando here, as well as Fort Lauderdale. So we are in Embry area, but we are fantastic. And I've worked for several different senior living companies, and this is by far the best that I have worked with.
Well, now the one that's slated, is that going to be like maybe in the Tampa Bay area or?
No, Mr. Preston owns land in the Chattanooga area and North Carolina.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We're based out of Cleveland, Tennessee, so the Chattanooga area. And so we have most of our buildings are in that area, or over the North Carolina, South Carolina border. So that's the area. We have building in Charleston. We have one in North Carolina. And so they're going to kind of build in that area where it's needed.
Well, and again, kind of, it's not quite like the explosive growth here, but you look at like where the Research Triangle is up around Duke University, Durham, North Carolina, and even the mountain, towns of Boone and places like that, they are really, really growing fast.
They are. And, we're very lucky as a company. We have actually held very strong during COVID-19 for the past couple of years and had continuous growth. We are, as a company, our occupancy is the highest as it has been in several years. So we're very, very fortunate. We just got slated as a great place to work, certification as a company for 2nd year in a row. So we are looking good, real quick, because I know we're about to run out of time. We have our diaper and formula drive that's going on right now for the 2 deputies that took their own life last week. And then we have our knee and pain seminar coming up with Dr. Joe on the 20th. Come by and see us, drop off diapers or formula, 3700 Southeast Jennings Road, or give us a call, 772-337-4330. We look forward to hearing from you, and come by and take a tour.
All right, Jack, thank you so much. And thank you for caring as much as you do. All right. Have a good week, sir.
You too.
Jack Waldrop, Executive Director, Harbor Place. We're here. This is WPSL.